When Amma stumbled backward and instinctively grabbed Kang Joon-ho's thigh for balance, she didn't expect to pull him down with her, but she did. In a sudden blur, he lost his footing and landed right on top of her. They lay there, heartbeats racing. His face slowly inched closer to hers, their lips just inches apart. Suddenly, Amma's eyes widened. She pushed him away with all her might, making the CEO fall onto the floor with a thud. I'm sorry, she stammered, quickly gathering her files with trembling hands. Without waiting for a response, she dashed out of the room, leaving the stunned CEO lying on the floor. This was the first time for Kang Joon-ho. Women usually try to get close to him, not run away the second they almost did. But this secretary, this strange, unpredictable secretary from Ghana, she was different, and now she was living in his mind rent-free. Downstairs, Amma continued with her work quietly, eyes down, trying to avoid attention. But attention had already found her, and it wasn't all good. There was one woman in the company who especially hated her. Meet Han Sora, the poised, polished administrator who had been with the company for 5 years. She'd always dreamed of being the CEO's right hand. She dressed to impress, worked overtime without being asked, and had accompanied Kang Joon-ho on several business trips. When all 15 secretaries had been fired, Sora thought the spot was finally hers. But then Amma showed up, young, foreign, and completely inexperienced, yet handpicked by the CEO himself. Sora smiled coldly as she handed Amma a towering pile of documents on her first day. These all need to be sorted and entered before you leave. Don't worry, it won't take too long, she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. By 5 p.m., the office emptied, but Amma stayed. Her eyes ached from staring at the screen and her fingers were cramping from typing. It was 8:02 p.m. when CEO Kang Joon-ho stepped out of his office and paused, surprised to see her still there. You are still here? Kang Joon-ho's voice was low but surprised. Amma looked up, startled. I was just finishing some data entry. I'll be done soon. He frowned. We don't pay anyone to work overtime. Pack your things. You can continue tomorrow. Amma stood up and bowed slightly. Thank you, Mr. Khan. She exited the building into the cool night air, only for a sleek black BMW to roll up in front of her. The window rolled down slowly. Get in, Kang Joon-ho said casually. Oh, no, I'm okay really. I live nearby. I can take a bus from here, she said quickly. He raised an eyebrow. I'm your CEO and it's my fault for making you work overtime. I don't want to be on news headlines tomorrow when something happens to you. They are gonna blame me for making you work overtime while paying you nothing. She couldn't refuse at this point. His logic was right. With a soft sigh, Amma walked around and got in. The silence in the car was thick at first, but not awkward, just quietly charged. When they neared the neighborhood, Amma spoke up. You can drop me off here. The road to my place is too narrow. I don't want your car scratched. Kang Joon-ho pulled over gently. You sure? He stopped. She got out, bowed and said, Thank you again, CEO Kang. Joon-ho, he corrected. She looked confused. My name, he said, turning his eyes toward her. Call me Joon-ho when we are not in the office. Then he drove off, leaving Amma with her heart racing again. That night, heavy rain began to pour in Seoul. Back in her tiny apartment, Amma dropped her bag on the bed and reached for her phone. It wasn't there. Frantically, she emptied her pockets, searched her drawers, nothing. Oh no, she whispered, it's in his car. Her heart pounded. Not only was it her lifeline, but she had a scheduled call with her visa agent that night. The man had told her plainly he was always busy. If she missed the window, there would be no second chance. Without that visa, she would have to leave Korea. She rushed out of the room, darting downstairs to the lobby. Her eyes scanned the small crowd until she spotted a kind-looking elderly security man. Ajoshi, can I please borrow your phone? The call rang. Kang Joon-ho, having stepped out of the shower in his robe, glanced at the unknown number. He picked up. Hello, Mr. Khan, it's Amma. I left my phone in your car. I'm really sorry, but it's urgent. Please, I need it back tonight. He hesitated. I just got home. If you really need it, you'll have to come get it yourself. I will. Please text me the address. Amma clutched the borrowed phone as the taxi sped through the storm. Outside, thunder crashed like a whip across the sky. Her fingers trembled. The taxi finally pulled up in front of an upscale apartment complex. She paid and ran inside, rain soaking her shoes. He opened the door with a furrowed brow. She was soaked, breathless. You didn't bring an umbrella? There wasn't time. He sighed and stepped aside. Come in before you catch a cold. She stepped inside, awed by the warm, minimalist design of the space. Muted tones, tall bookshelves, sleek furniture. It smelled like cedar wood and citrus. He handed her a towel. Your phone's on the coffee table. As she moved to get it, a loud crack shook the sky. The lights flickered. Then, blackout. Amma gasped. What just happened? Kang Joon-ho checked the hallway. It's the entire block. Storm must have knocked something out. The apartment was lit only by the dim glow of the city through the rain-streaked windows. Thunder rumbled closer. Amma anxiously tried dialing the visa agent from the now-returned phone. No answer. Minutes passed, then a message pinged in. Sorry, Amma. Thunderstorm is bad. Power's out in my area. Let's reschedule the meeting to next week. She slammed, relief and frustration all at once. Oh no, she said under her breath. I came all the way here for nothing. I'm sorry for disturbing you, she said aloud. He cancelled the call last minute. Kang Joon-ho looked up from where he was sipping tea. It's alright. She stood and bowed. Then I'll get going now. Don't, his voice was firm. She blinked. He stood and walked to the window. The rain was pouring even harder now. You can't go out in that. Wait unless it eases. She nodded slowly and sat back down, thankful. A few minutes later, a knock came at the door. It was Yuna, Joon-ho's nosy neighbor from across the hall, dressed in loungewear and holding a flashlight. She blinked in surprise when she saw Amma standing inside. Oh, she said slowly, clearly trying to process. I didn't realize you had company. Amma shifted uncomfortably. She just came for her phone, Joon-ho said flatly. Yuna's curious gaze flickered between them. Well, if you need candles, I have some. We are fine, he replied quickly and closed the door. Kang Joon-ho placed a few emergency candles on the table. The flames cast warm shadows across their faces. Amma hugged her knees, still shaking. You are still wet. I have a hoodie you can wear. She blinked. Really? He disappeared into his room and returned with an oversized grey hoodie. Amma put it on. It smelled faintly of him. Her curls framed her face, still damp, but her features softened in the candlelight. Thank you, she murmured. For a moment, silence settled between them. The world outside was still raging, but inside it was quiet. She looked up. I was scared. I thought I might miss my call with my visa agent. Visa? She nodded. I'm still on a student permit. If I miss this call, I might lose the chance to switch to a working visa. And if that happens, she didn't finish. He looked at her, really looked at her. All this time, he thought she was just another secretary. But now she seemed human, real, brave. He cleared his throat, looking away. You can stay until the storm passes. They sat together on the floor, backs against the couch. Candle between them. They waited and waited, but the storm showed no sign of easing. Thunder grumbled in the distance as the rain danced endlessly against the glass. Time blurred. One quiet breath became another. Without realizing it, both of them had drifted off into sleep, side by side, wrapped in a gentle silence that neither of them dared to break. Morning came gently. Sunlight filtered through Kang Joon-ho's sleek modern windows, brushing over their faces like a soft whisper. Amma woke up first, still half asleep. She tried to stretch her arms, but something held her in place. Confused, she opened her eyes slowly and then froze. Her head was resting on the CEO's chest. His arms were wrapped snugly around her. Her mouth parted in shock. Oh my God. her heart racing. She carefully peeled herself away from him, moving as delicately as possible. She tiptoed across the room, collecting her things with the panic of someone caught in the middle of a scandal. Then she slipped quietly out of the door, cheeks burning, pulse pounding. But what she didn't know was that Kang Joon-ho had been awake the entire time. Eyes still closed, lips curled ever so slightly. He has simply pretended to be asleep. Looks like the CEO was enjoying the moment a little more than he let on. What happens next? Watch out for episode 4. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting episodes. See you next week. Bye.